around in circles, trying to find you, it's feeling eternal. I don't wanna live like this. My life feels empty, you're what I miss. I'm standing here all alone, waiting for someone to make me feel at home. I've been craving for somebody to hold me.
What's going on? Looks like we already got some peeps here. That's exciting. Exciting. I know I'm starting a little earlier. I was just ready. We'd have some customers come in the door kind of last second there, but they just came to check out stuff knowing that I was closing and said they'll be back tomorrow morning. So I was like, okay, cool. Sounds great. So yeah, we're going to get going today and have a good time. If anybody out there that's listening right now, it looks like we have a few viewers, just want to give me like a thumbs up. The audio's good. I'm by myself tonight, so that's a huge help, just so I know things are rolling smoothly for that. Thank you, man. I'm bringing these back. So my burlap glasses. And yeah, what we're hoping to do is a really simple pickup swap for a buddy who's been quite active in the chat already. Thanks so much for the like. Really appreciate it. Goes a long way. Thanks, Chris. And it should be fairly simple. I went ahead and took the strings off the guitar, took a couple screws off just to get it open so we weren't having the same debacle we had last week where we're messing with knobs and stuff and trying to get the thing apart to do some replacement work on it. So I think this should be fairly straightforward. Thank you, the other Chris, for the stream like. They planned that, I bet. So yeah, it should be a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and again, I'm with myself, so you're gonna see me looking down and stuff. Thank you so much. We miss you over here. You need to come visit. But thanks for the like. Today we're working with a Solar guitar. So I'm not going to pretend to know much about Solar. They make some unique stuff. They make some pretty cool stuff. They make some really cool looking stuff for sure. And this guitar I know is loved by the person that owns it, and they're upgrading pickups. And what they're upgrading to are... Bam. Seymour, Duncan, Alpha and Omega. So we're going to upgrade both pickups. So these are the Mark Holcomb ones. As you see, these pickups are kind of loose in here already. Like I said, I pretty much unscrewed it almost all the way, just so you guys can kind of see what I need to do. You know, there's two screws, one on each side of the pickup, and when unscrewed all the way, the pickup is released from the wood. So, a couple things we want to keep now. And wow, we really just jumped right into this, didn't we? With this pickup style, and there not being a ring, we're going to want to keep these foam pieces and these springs, because chances are we're going to end up gluing them to the bottom of the other pickup so we can get the same pickup height as these were. So, but right now, what we care about is just getting the pickups out of there. So, getting them nice and loose so that they can come out. That's the world's longest screw. There we go. All right, so again, saving those black screws because I'm pretty sure most pickups usually come with silver screws. Black screws are kind of hard to find, so we're going to save those and reuse them if possible. Again, this is just a pickup swap, so we're not going to be replacing any electronics other than the pickup, so we shouldn't have to do anything else besides what we just did right there. So what I'm going to carefully do now is flip this bad boy over. Oh, so carefully. Only hitting the mic stand once. And there we go. We got a guitar. And not sure if you guys can tell the difference on this camera right here. This is our new camera. Hopefully the stream's coming through in good quality. On my end, it's like awesome 1080, auto-focusing, all sorts of fun stuff. And we're going to have a secondary camera now as well, which is going to show us some close-up stuff. So this is the awesome stuff I get to bring to the stream with the support from the donations and the merch sales. So thank you guys so much. We were able to get our first new camera, which again is this overhead guitar scene camera. Huge fan of it. It looks so much better than the last camera. It's great. I love it. I would love to get two more, at least one more, if not two more. This next side camera is pretty good. It's just not quite as good as the other one. The auto-focusing doesn't happen as nicely and such. So appreciate it, man. So that's what supporting the stream does. Thank you guys so much for that. Again, we're looking into mobile cams, we're looking into mobile mics, we're looking into different ways to input guitars and things like that, so we could do a bunch of different things for the stream. So, if you look at the description below, there's a couple links to our merch store and then also to our donation page, if you guys don't mind. It goes a long way. Also, just sharing and liking the stream does a bunch for us. So, going on, close-up. So, very clean in here. There's normally a plate over the back. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know that already. We're just going to take a look at what's going on in here. Our two big black wires are going to be the wires that are coming from our pickups, as we can see right through there. So, and these split up, and it looks like we have a black wire, which is the live wire, the red and white, which would be for splitting coils, parallel, all that stuff, and then we have green and ground, which are our grounds that are going to go to our pot here. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that shows up well. Hopefully that camera can carry that. I know the other camera, the third camera I have, definitely wouldn't be showing this stuff in this much detail. So I hope that's working out and you guys can see that. Again, we're just switching pickups, so there's a lot of stuff we don't actually have to touch in here, and which I'm sure you've seen me do if you've watched me do any work in other streams and in the past. I like to take a picture because I like to just make sure I have exactly what was going on inside there. Boom, picture done. We're ready to go, and what we're going to start, we're going to turn on the soldering iron so that gets nice and warmed up. What we're going to do is go ahead and just unsolder these from their spots. So, again, it's a pretty clean cavity. I've seen so much worse in the past. There's a couple things here and there that I don't really love. But for the most part, this work in here was done well, and you could tell it was done by hand. So, kudos to Solar. Rather impressed with the inside cavity of their guitar. So this is the first one I've ever opened up and worked on, so I was excited to see what was going on in here. Alright, so got the soldering iron ready to go. Tin her a little. We're going to start pulling wires. I know that's kind of tough to see. Unfortunately, with the angle I need to get some of this stuff at, it's hard to tell what I'm doing. But I am touching the joints, not the component. Heating up the solder and pulling that off. So now it looks like we got everything but the ground. And the ground I'm actually going to cut. Cut these both because I'm just going to do another add-on to the ground. So we got this nice big glob of solder right here. We're just going to add more solder in this area for soldering the ground on these. But everything else in here can stay exactly the way it is because these pickups, the way they're set up, is it looks like it's on a 5-way switch. Yep. So 2 pickups on a 5-way switch, which means we're going to get some cool unique sounds out of it. All we have to do is run our black wire. So Seymour Duncan black is the live wire. Red and white going together for our coil tapping and other various things. And then our green and our ground are going together. So super fun. With those disconnected, these pickups should come right out. I'm going to pull the guitar away and just start yanking on stuff. No, I'm kidding. Gently pull the pickups out. All right. Dodging microphones and mic stands and all sorts of stuff. So the pickups as they sat were just like this, which means when we took our picture, anything that had the red tip wire in it is going to be for our bridge pickup. Everything else is going to be our neck pickup. All right. I'm not trying to cover up the pretty guitar on purpose. I don't know. I get in the habit of covering, for the stream we don't have to. I get in the habit of covering things up. So that we don't damage them with tools. You'll see me do that when we start soldering and stuff like that too. So, bridge pickup. Hopefully these are the same wiring. I would imagine so, with them being Seymour Duncans. Yep. Yep. We're gonna have the same wiring here. Bingo, bango. All right. So. You see we have 5 wires coming off. That's pretty normal. It's what color wire does what that matters the most per brand. So we're going to have to solder some of these together. We're going to have to twist some of these together. But this is good. And what I'm going to do to start out is go get some tape and put a little tape on this wire. You saw the red on the last pickup wire, and that was just simply saying, hey, this is the bridge, so that when I feed these wires through and they look identical, I can now tell which one's the bridge and which one isn't. So these are pretty sticky still. I think I can get away with just slapping them in there like that. Switch that up, actually. All right, so now all we're doing here is just attaching these awesome foam springs to the bottom of this. So let's look in the box here and see if we got silver. Yep, we got silver screws and springs, which is super common. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up just using these screws for this pickup, and I hope they match. Yes, we're lucky. All right. One pickup. All right. So, thank you very much, Tim, for the like. I did see that pop up. Sorry, I was a little late on that, but really appreciate it. Any shares you guys can do as well are just awesome. Thank you so much for it. The support goes such a long way. It's been awesome doing this. I've been having a lot of fun doing it, and I hope we can keep doing it. So, neck pickup. Gonna look the same, not gonna sound the same. So. All right. Now comes the fun stuff. So, I see beginners struggle with this a little bit here and there. The biggest thing is just feeding these wires if the holes weren't drilled very large. These are luckily quite large, but as you saw before when I took some tape and I put it on the other pickup wire, you can also do that on your tips here so that they don't spread out if they're going through a smaller hole. And that goes a long way. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure this seats. And we got some play there. Awesome. All right, it's coming along, sir. I think you're going to like these pickups. And when I do the second pickup feed, I feed them both at the same time. The hole on the back end, like 90% of the time, is going to be bigger. So you usually can feed them both at the same time, which is good. Here we are. Just going to reach around back here. Start pulling on the wires. Okay. Get that on. Make sure that's going to stay. There we go. Okay. So as long as we get that neck tight, get that neck wire nice and tight, we can play with this one a bit more. There is a little bit of a trick here. So, and there's a reason why I put the less sticky one on this side, is because we want to make sure that we don't have this wire in this groove. I hope you guys can see that. We want to make sure we pull that away because we're going to have a screw going through there. And we don't want that screw going through the wire. So, boom, boom. And I'm going to get ahead of myself and hope that everything just works out absolutely perfect and just start screwing these in. And we'll grab the next guy. There we go. Just want to get them in there a little bit. I know that's sunk way too far in there. Don't worry, we will adjust that. There we go. So if you saw me wiggling around there, what I was doing was actually just feeling for the hole the screw goes in past that pickup, because I hadn't felt it yet. Okay. So again, I just wanted to get these. I know they're not level, they're not set up or anything. Thanks for the like very much. But we're just getting it fed through and getting it ready for this. So, Seymour Duncan. Black is going to be our live wire. White and red are going to go together. And then green and the bare wire are going to be ground. So So we are going to twist those together, and we are going to twist these together. Bingo, bango. This is our bridge pickup. Neck pickup. Red and white going together. Green and bare wire going together. And then black. And you'll see I'm going to twist all these. And what I'm going to do is tin them all as well. Get a little solder on them so that they stay in place and look real good. So you're going to look at these and say, wow, these are ridiculously long. Yes, they are. And if we had a really, really tiny cavity to work in here and like no space at all, I would absolutely cut these down. But as you can see, we have a ton of space in here. We can nicely roll these up. Really, really nicely roll these up and just use another zip tie like we saw when it was in here, and we can keep all that extra wire. And the reason why keeping all that extra wire is so great, little close-up view there, the reason why we want to keep that extra wire there is because it's going to be great if he ever wants to pull these pickups out of this guitar. We're not cutting all this off, which could be used in a different guitar. Or, even better, we do something wrong, and we need to resolder something. And then all of a sudden we're losing wire, and more wire, and more wire. And does that happen often? No, but it does happen. So, pulling these aside here. Soldering iron warming up again. Go. All right, that's going to be our new little spot for our grounds. That's going to be fantastic, and I'm going to bring our little fun friend over here. Just some clips we can use. So this has rubber feet, which is why I'm putting it directly on the guitar. It stays on the guitar better like that. It's not going to leave any marks or anything like that in case we need to start clipping things. So, I think it would be the easiest if we ground the wires first. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to measure out like how much space we really have, because I think we're going to take off some more of this black shield here. Right through here. So it's going to give us more of a stretch. We're not going to have to stretch this ground as much. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So simply going to move my marker down, my tape marker here. All I'm doing right now is sliding that down. So slide that down, and then we're just going to oh, man down. That's why we need more cameras, guys. Get that set up again. That's pretty close to where it was, right? All right. Do this away from the camera. Again, we're just going to strip that down so we have more wire there. Alrighty. And the beauty of doing this again is so that I'm not stretching these wires to really reach things anymore. So. I feel good and confident about putting these grounds on and still having plenty of extra wire and space. So. You see how much extra wire we have here now. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this whole ground, twist it around this whole thing. Twist together the end here. And then, is that still in the shot? Trying to get in the shot there. All I'm going to do is just tin that wire a little bit. There we go. So now that's not coming undone because it's got solder on it. And we're going to do the same thing to the other wires. So, but while I'm doing this, this is the work and not talk portion. Just want to do a thank you again to all the people that are watching. Greatly appreciated. We're going to go big old overview mode again. Not sure what everyone out there is working on this weekend, guitar-wise or really anything-wise. Mother's Day-wise, don't know what's going on out there. If you guys got sweet plans. We ourselves are not really doing much. Nothing exciting this weekend, really. Next weekend, though, we plan to go out of town, have some fun with our 4-year-old, so that should be a blast. He's 4, so he doesn't even really know what to look forward to, but I know he's going to have a lot of fun with it, too. It's going to be, I think, his first vacation that he really knows and understands that he's on vacation for, so. Yeah, of course, man. That should be a blast. I'm really excited to see how he reacts to all the surprises, and hopefully we don't spoil him too much. Got the wife's birthday coming up too, so we got a plan for that. But it's really nice because the wife's birthday and Mother's Day and my anniversary are all in the same month. So every once in a while, and hopefully she's not going to watch this later, I get to plan one big thing and it counts as a gift for all of them. So I don't know if that's cheating. And Jana, if you're still here, you might have experience in that. Is that cheating? I don't know. Hopefully I'm not cheating too bad. So, it's going to be tough to see this. We're in the nooks and crannies of this whole thing, but what I'm doing is actually trying to feed the wires around. I'm going to go underneath this bridge ground. I like clean wiring cavities. If you can't tell, I take the time to move everything so that it lines up in a good spot so it makes sense. So we're going to have one ground going here. We'll get this out of the way. So we're going to have a ground going in right here. Try to get this camera in a better spot. Yeah, it's going to be tough for anybody to see either way. Well, we got these lined up where the grounds are going to go right on here, nice and easy, and then we should still have plenty of wire to manipulate and move around for everything else. So I'm going to bring back my handy octopus tool thingy right here. I'm going to use that to help hold the grounds on exactly where I want them to be. maybe. Try that again. Put them together, pitch them off, and get them right down there. So, I'm sure a lot of other people would have probably pulled the pots and stuff on this. And you can kind of see what I got going on in there. I don't know. I think we have enough space where we don't have to deal with that. Pretty sure we have enough space where we don't have to deal with that. We'll definitely find out here in a couple seconds, though. All right. We are grounded. Fantastic. All right, I got to go back to my picture and figure out which is which. So, our red and white's going to go right over here. So, I'm going to go ahead and just do that right away. I'm taking a long time to cool down right there. Man, we're gonna just suck that old solder out of there. That solder stinks. All right. I'm gonna go up and around my camera. Woo. Alright, so we did have solder on this, and this was twisted, but me trying to mess with it and everything. I'm sorry, my hand's right in the way. It stinks when I'm the only one here and I can't have nobody tell me that stuff. Just going to go ahead and put a little more solder on that tip so that we can feed it through nicely. Bingo. It was a little longer than I needed it to be. If you're wondering why I just trimmed that. I don't know if I've showed this in the past too, but we're going to go around here. We're going to heat up the component, not the actual wire. We're not going to put the solder on the iron. We're putting it on the component. And nice shiny joint. Yay. And I want to redo this one because I, again, don't like the solder that's on here. Yeah. We'll suck that solder out of there too. You're going to finally sand down the epi body and neck. Well, I know you put that in there a while ago. I'm sorry, I'm just now getting to it. But I will believe it when I see it, friend. I really hope you do, though. And I don't mean that in a facetious way. I actually really want to see that happen, and I want to help you finish that project up, bud. So, all right. Nice tight wrap on that. Tin her up. Yeah, that's about twice as much length I need, so chop her off. And stick her in there. I'll solder on iron. Heat the component. That's such a better spot. So, now that we know we want to go that route, we're just going to go ahead and suck the solder off those other joints right away. Not liking that. Sorry, I know I'm blocking the camera a bit on this. I got to. Yeah, send pics for sure. Be cool if you could put pics in the chat. I'm sure there's a way to do that. I'm sure like Twitch does that or somebody like that. We'll get over to Twitch eventually. All right. Well, that worked out way easier than I planned. Yeah, do it in the Discord. Yes. Thanks for pushing the Discord. Traverse Music has a new Discord page. Server for musicians to just chat about literally anything we want to chat about. If you're new to Discord, just go ahead and send me a message asking me what it's about, and I can show you some screen pics and stuff like that. We're trying to build a big, huge community for everybody, which should be super exciting, and I think it's pretty darn close to happening already. So we got a couple, 2-3 dozen people in there already, and we just share pictures of gear, pictures of new gear, pictures of old gear, ask questions about music, and all sorts of fun things, and it's a great place, and it's not just somewhere to go to, like, ask me questions. I mean, there are tons of people out there in the community that are in the Discord, and there's a lot of different channels. So there's bass players, there's sound people, there's all sorts of just different things, and there's a little bit of something for everyone. We got vocalists in there, we got keyboard players in there. It's kind of nutso. So you're probably wondering what I just did. I kicked on an amplifier because now that we have stuff wired up, we want to test that it's working properly. So, all right. Beautiful. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing is I'm testing the magnets with a piece of metal here. And if that's so unpleasant I should stop doing it, please let me know. I don't know how the microphone's picking it up. It sounds like a pop, So hopefully that's not terrible. And I just want to make sure that it's working in all the positions it should. Right? And then it's not working in the positions it shouldn't work. So that means we wired it up successfully. We're also not hearing any crazy humming, which means we don't have any grounding issues right now. So we should be good to go. That's about it for a pickup swap. Obviously, I'm gonna do a couple more fine tweaks here. We're gonna get these screws in here properly. We're gonna go ahead and put a zip tie on the cavity in the back. So that was pretty straightforward. That went very, very smooth. I couldn't ask for a smoother pickup swap than that, honestly. That went fantastically smooth. Everything's in there securely. What we're going to do is we're just going to coil up the wires, and we're going to zip tie them in a way that makes sense, that doesn't add stress to any of the joints. That's my biggest problem with a lot of people that zip tie. I'm usually not a huge fan of zip ties in there when it's done incorrectly, because they cause so much stress on the solder joints, and then they end up pulling wires slowly over time. So we'll make sure we do that. Again, we have the screws that we need to set in there properly. Get the height. We got to restring the guitar. We got to tune it up. He has this one in B. And then, yeah, B for Barry. And then it will be ready to go. So Barry, you can come get it tomorrow afternoon for sure. So yeah, I mean, that was very, very painless. Obviously, every single pickup swap isn't that easy. If we're changing out pots and stuff like that too, there's a lot more that goes into that. That 5-way switch, those switches, that was a very nice switch in there. Another really great thing that I can compliment Solar on is the switch that they have in there is really nice, and they're using 500K alpha pots in there. So they are mini pots, but I'm not one of those people that hates mini pots like so many other people do. So yeah, I mean, does anybody have any questions about the pickup swap? It went pretty darn smooth. I have to say, I'm very happy with how easy and clean that was from Solar. I'm very happy with Seymour Duncan. It's really rare when I get garbage from Seymour Duncan. Seymour Duncan's one of those pickup companies I do like. Granted, I like my pickups more, but I do like Seymour Duncan pickups, don't get me wrong. They make some great stuff. It's just when I'm in the boutique market, obviously I'm looking at my own boutique stuff. So, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you guys have ever done any pickup swaps, please feel free to leave some comments below. Let us know about your experience. Again, I got pretty lucky. That was a very, very straightforward one-for-one swap. It doesn't always work like that. Do I like Fishmans? Is that the question? So it's not always a one-for-one swap. It doesn't always come that easily. Luckily, we were pulling Seymour Duncans out. We were putting Seymour Duncans in. They were 5-wire Seymour Duncans. It was pretty darn straightforward. We didn't have to replace pots. We didn't have to replace a switch, all that fun stuff. Had we done that, we probably would have added at least another 45 minutes onto this project. I'm also one who cleans and lubricates everything before I put it in the guitar, and then we wire it up outside of the guitar, make sure it's functional. Then we can put it in the guitar before we waste all of our time. I kind of gambled and just assumed things were going to work because of how straightforward that pickup swap was. So, and the gamble paid off. So, turn off that guitar amp. So, yeah, love to hear your guys' experiences. I'm sure we will get info on how good these sound when Barry gets around to picking it up, and maybe he can post in the Discord, post on our Facebook our Facebook page as well. Let us know how he likes these pickups. So I've never personally used them. Obviously, I've heard really great things. They're fantastic pickups. They cost a pretty penny. So, I have not found out yet. I'm sorry, bud. I will check though. I promise. It's been a weird week for me. So. Other than that, thank you guys so much. We had some new names for the likes this week, for liking the stream. Thank you very much if you're still here and you gave us some likes. Greatly, greatly appreciated. If you guys don't mind sharing and stuff, tomorrow night at 4:30, we're going to have another stream, and it's going to be a guitar restring stream, and that is one that you're going to have to buy tickets for. It sounds silly, But restringing a guitar is so darn important, and there's so much science behind it that can truly affect your tone and your intonation and all that stuff. So I'm going to explain tuners, why they work the way they do, what the science backing them up is, and just give you some opinions and theories from other people as well. I have the stuff that I think works the best and I think sounds the best and things like that, but I will absolutely share other people's theories and opinions as well. So everybody's got a different ear, everybody hears differently, so that's a big thing. But the biggest thing is proper restring technique, and then why we're stringing things up the way we are. So learning that stuff really helps your guitar go a long way. I'm also going to show you a couple of tips and tricks on cleaning and maintaining your guitar in between your restrings. So when you have your strings off, it's a great time to start cleaning things up, like frets and fretboards and things like that. So I'm going to show you the materials I use, all that stuff. And that stream, again, it's a $4.99 stream. It is a ticket. You can find it on Facebook. With that being said, it's only $5. It's going to be a good half hour to an hour long stream, and I promise you, you're going to come away learning something. What are we doing with that $5? Well, we're paying some PayPal fees with it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put money into more cameras and gear for the stream. So, again, the stream is clearly not something that's making me money. We're not huge. There's not thousands of people watching. There's not donations rolling in. There's not a ton of merch being purchased. The stream is something I'm doing just for fun, to try to get a group of musicians together, a group of music lovers together, a community together, and just start doing fun things for these streams. And the paid stream is just another way to help support all the gear that we've invested in. If I looked around for instance, the microphone we're using alone, we started out with about a $100 microphone. We've moved into a several $100 microphone. And if you listen to that first stream, and then you listen to like the third stream, you hear the jump in quality. And we're just hoping to make that money back so we can keep the stream going, so we're not constantly feeding money into the stream that, we could be feeding into the store. So, again, thank you guys so much for all the likes, all the support. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out on Facebook. Feel free to leave comments below on Facebook or on YouTube. Again, this is super fun for me. It was nice to have a pretty easy stream this week. We're not pulling frets on an old 82 guitar or trying to tear apart a pedal that's been seized up for the last 20 years. So thank you guys so much. My name is Travis. I'm with Traverse Music. We're located in Menasha, Wisconsin, and we would love to have your business. If you got something cool that you want to see done on stream too, reach out and send me a message. So this guitar was definitely one that a customer said, hey, can you do this on your stream? This would be cool. And I said, you got it, man. And we went ahead and did it. So you got a fun repair or a pickup swap or anything you'd like to see done on stream, by all means, let's go ahead and do it. I do not charge extra money for putting it on the stream. So we just start the stream when we close up on Friday, and we work until it's done. So, but hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and we will see you tomorrow night, or we will see you in a couple weeks. Next Friday, we are going to be off. I am going out of town, as I had mentioned earlier. So, not next Friday, but the following Friday will be the next free stream we have. Thanks so much, you guys. Take care.